We're now in the hands of Ms. Lisa Lambert.
This is the pre-meeting of the Mobile City Council Tuesday, January 30th. We have approval of minutes from January 23rd.
Any issues? Yeah, we good.
Appeals, we have requests for waiver of the noise ordinance on February 10th through the 13th from 10 a.m. until 1 a.m. This is on St. Anthony Street. March the 23rd from 7:30 until 12 a.m. on Government Street.
Ms. Carroll, you said 10 on St. Anthony, you said from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. I think it was 11 p.m.
What's it?
It's 1 a.m. Needs to end with the Mardi parade somewhere around
10.
11 p.m.
10.
Right?
10.
But we need to reach out and find out what's exactly going on over there. I was just trying to talk to Director Lansky too. I mean, I don't think that we have a problem with it, but 1 o'clock in the morning, I would think that some of the people trying to sleep over there. Yeah, can somebody reach out before 10 and call them back before 10:30?
Why won't you just wait till next week? You just hold it over to next week. It's not to the 10th, but it's up to you.
Well, my problem is I think that they called me yesterday, and I think we're talking this Thursday through the end of Mardi Gras.
Let's say the 10th to the 13th.
Friendship House.
That's the night for the end.
That's what Friendship wants, right?
Yes.
So the other one is different.
Yeah, the other one's on St. Anthony Street.
That weekend.
Oh, that's the flow. Oh, are they trying to have a ball there? Does anybody know?
Why don't we just hold it over with you? And
Yeah, that deserves another conversation.
just
We
hold.
had that same problem at the corner of Government and Broad with the IMs, the neighbors there. It's a big issue I have every year with their Mardi Gras ball. Hold on, we'll look at it again. The second one is okay at 11 p.m. for the Friendship House.
Public hearings. Today is a public hearing to declare the structure at 2108 Costa Rica Street public nuisance and order it demolished. 161 Kennedy Street, 506 Rickaby Street, 165 Imogene Place. All public nuisances and ordering them demolished. Today is a public hearing to fix costs for demolition of structures at 2623 First Avenue, 368 Dunbar Street, 1003B Houston Street, 282 Laurel Street, 1103 Lion Street, 212 Norman Street, 251B Rylands Street, 2763 Gonzalez Road, 928 Nellie Street, 7123A Smith Street, 33 East I-65 Service Road South, 2781 Graham Road. Okay. Public hearing to consider the application of YU Buy Experiences LLC to operate a shuttle service.
Mr. David.
Yes, Mr. President, I just have a few comments on the items that are scheduled for demolition today for the public hearing. We have one located at 2108 Costa Rica Street, Mr. Penn. We have some good news. I do recommend we hold this over 30 days. The owner has done some work to the structure without a permit, but they've applied for a permit and we expect that to be issued shortly. That's why if we could table it for 30 days to give the owner time to get that permit and continue the repairs. The other location, 506 Rickaby, Mr. Carroll. We have some damage to this location, but a permit was issued yesterday to the property owner, and he is. We expect him in the next 30 to 60 days to begin repairs. It's the same thing. If we could table it 30 days just to make sure he has a permit and he is beginning repairs. The last location that I have some information for is the 165 Imogene Place. And we may have a speaker here at the public hearing section to speak about this, the owner. He wants to come down to speak. He's applied for a permit, but it has not been issued yet. Same thing in this situation, if we could table it 60 days, if, I believe it's Mr. Daves, if he would like to do that.
Okay. All right.
And if anybody has any questions on the fixed cost, just be mindful that these have already occurred. And this is the direct cost from the city of Mobile that we're requesting to put into an invoice so we can get repaid.
Question, are any of these will be fixed the costs of the property owners that have been absent long enough for us to actually foreclose on them?
That's a little complicated because the municipal lien foreclosure process I would defer that to the legal department because there's a specific time frame after the fact that the lien has been recorded with probate court. And so I don't have that answer yet.
So it's roughly 4 months after the lien's been assessed. It's 30 days to let them pay after the lien's assessed. Then 4 months after they do that, we can file list pendants. 2 months after list pendants is filed, we can file a court case. Court case usually takes about 6 months.
How many do we have in the hopper?
A good number. I had to get the exact count.
When was the last time we actually went through the process?
A lot of the ones we've done recently have been getting redeemed and paid off. So we've had a few of them in the process. They've just been getting paid off and can't get to foreclosure.
I tried to look up to see when the last time we actually filed to go through the process. I couldn't find anything. So when was the last time we actually did it?
I have to go look. I don't
So
know.
it's been a while.
It's been a minute. Yeah, we had a change of lawyers in the mix, a couple different ones actually.
So we have a stockpile of properties that we could be getting into people's hands where we could have neighborhoods coming back that we need to work on.
Well, we've got about 50 or 60 in inventory at various stages of clear title, not clear title. We've been holding them back for HOPE program. The applicants coming through that hadn't really been interested in the ones we have.
It's hard. It's extremely hard with our process for a HOPE program to even get people qualified.
Right. That's what's
We've
happening.
done one
Yeah.
house in 12 years,
Yeah.
which we just started the program, which is great, by the way, which I look to even help do from District 2 to partner with that, with what we're going on. But I mean, we need to, if we can, speed that up so that we can have some of these neighborhoods. Right now, there's 5 in my district where we can have those in people's hands,
Total agreement.
where we can be moving forward.
Madam Clerk?
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Timothy Hollis wants to offer a real resolution to youth violence in Mobile. Jason Alador discusses property at 165 Imogene Place being declared a public nuisance. CIP resolutions held over 08067 authorized purchase order to Game Time for playground equipment for Mill Street Park.
1 second, Madam Clerk. Mr. David, are you aware of this Jason person?
Yeah, that's what he said was gonna come down.
That's the one that was going,
That's-
okay. All right, thank you. All right, thank you.
Resolutions held over 01068, authorized amendment to agreement with Lineage Logistics LLC. 01069, authorized agreement with Jonathan Ames to provide racket stringer services for Parks and Recreation. 01070, authorized agreement with Tahir El Zaire to provide tennis lessons for Parks and Recreation. 08071, approved item-based bid for nitrile gloves. 08072, approved purchase order to Deere and Company for 8 John Deere mowers and utility tractors. 09073, allocate funds from unassigned fund balance in the general fund to capital project West Mobile County Park. 21074, authorized contract amendment with EMS Management and Consultants, Inc. for billing support services. 21075, authorized contract with Keytom Construction, business at Southern Preservation Systems for emergency repair and remediation of brick wall at the Civic Center.
We park here for a minute, Mr. President.
Yeah.
So I guess a couple questions. This is, I guess we have deemed this the highest and best use of these dollars to prevent whatever we're trying to prevent at the moment. I'm a no on this vote today, just because we don't know what the plan for the Civic Center is. I know this is an emergency, alleged emergency. Things are happening over there, but you know, based on what I've come to learn about this is we're spending $250,000 taking 16,000 bricks, brick by brick, palletizing them, and we don't yet know what we're going to do for the brick. I just want to, is there any other solution for the time being until whenever the plan for the Civic Center comes out that we could, instead of spending $250,000, spend less money by possibly fencing off an area, protecting the site, and doing any type of, you know, immediate temporary hold until we know what we're going to do with the Civic Center?
So we've taken the temporary measures as far as barricading off the area to prevent, you know, in case it does fail. But Sam Matheny's here with Volker to talk about this, this particular repair. Sam?
Sam, is there anything we can do? I mean, $250,000, you know, it's been said, I don't want to spend good money after bad. We still don't know, or the public still doesn't know, or nobody knows what's going to happen at the Civic Center. So is there a way to temporarily shore this thing up, barricade off or fence off? Because I'm pretty sure for about $15,000 you can get a good fence high enough that nobody gets in. Is there a way that we can do that, protect the fall zone? You know, I don't think inconveniencing the citizen of Mobile. I mean, we're building a parking deck over there, and we got the Anvil Square fenced off. So I don't think that, you know, an additional inconvenience of about I'd say probably about 25 yards would inconvenience anybody. Is there anything we can do in the meantime to hold this off, not spend $250,000 until we know what we're actually going to be doing over there?
Yes, sir. Well, there's two areas. The area on the east side of the theater, that's already been barricaded off to protect any citizens. In that area, the brick could fall. That area, the brick could fall, you know, in smaller pieces. The concern with the area on the south face of the theater is the way it's failed. It's not, you're not going to lose one or two bricks at a time because it's turned loose from the wall. So poor illustration, but your brick veneer is kind of bulged away from the building like this. So along this plane, it's separated from the building about 6 inches. So if that fails, the whole thing's going to come down at once. If that happens, it's going to take out the chiller on the roof of the theater, and it'll tear the roof up that you would have to replace the chiller and the roof. Could we temporarily protect that? You could, but to try to push that brick back against the backing CMU wall, if you try to push it back, you're going to crack all your mortar joints, and the brick's probably going to come down anyway. If you just put a screen up to keep the brick, you know, from bouncing off the roof, that'll keep the public safe on the sidewalk below, but you could still lose your roof chiller. So to replace that, replace the roof to keep the theater open if it falls, you know, you'd have that cost plus, you know, then you still have to protect the wall with waterproofing.
And then on the administration side, I went to the website and just took a look at list of events and everything. It looks like the Civic Center is being utilized for those. That's probably not you probably don't keep up with that on a daily basis, check up all the events. But through the summer, I guess, looks like where everything's calendared on the website. We're looking at, I think the quote a couple of weeks ago was 60 days to find out where we stand on the Civic Center. Are we still kind of on that time frame, about 30 days, 45 days from now, knowing where we are on the Civic Center? And then with that being said, once we know where we are on the Civic Center, determining, you know, well, you know, it doesn't behoove us to continue to lease this out because allegedly we're going to start getting started at the end of the year into 25, I guess.
So yes, we are on schedule. You know, the last time I think Populous and them were here, the city council had us explore other options. I think they'll be ready to present that in March to the city council. And then from there, we'll be able to get a direction between the administration and the council on which direction we want to proceed. And then we'll establish the timelines then.
And then for existing events, what are we telling them? I know what I'm being told in the private side, my direction. I know what folks are coming to me saying, but what are we saying as far as direction of when we're going to close up shop for whatever we're going to do over there?
I don't know that we've given any clear guidance to ASM. We're still in negotiation with OVG. And so once we complete the negotiation with OVG, we'll transition OVG and ASM, and then we'll make a determination on when we're going to start our timeline, cease events, close the Civic Center at that point so that we can proceed.
That's all my questions.
Sam, you can't protect the chiller with a temporary hooding system in case of a cascading fall, because you're not going to get 16,000 brick on one little small chiller space. So I'm pretty sure some type of protective hooding would work there.
You probably could build some sort of protective cage around the chiller.
At a minimal cost.
I
Some 6x6s.
I don't know what the
steel
cost would
plate
be.
and 6x6s and steel plate and anchoring system. I mean, you're not going to get 16,000 brick in one spot. So I don't think that point load would be so heavy of an impact that it would break through that. And a shield for the brick and splatter to go over that at that south edge would definitely do what we're talking about. And as far as the roof goes, I don't know what's up there, whether it's sheet membrane, 3-ply garment. I don't know what's up there, but again, to the point is we don't know what we're going to do with the theater. If we renovate it, we still got to put a new roof on it. If we tear it down, we still have to put a new roof on it. So we're going to lose the roof anyway. So I think that, I mean, the expenditure, the costs would be so much as opposed to just putting maybe a $5,000 hood over the top of the chiller system, which I think if we lose the facility, then the chiller system is going to be obsolete anyway. You know, so, and then again, I mean, I question the expenditure of roughly $80,000 in order to, you know, accomplish a task for 16,000 brick when we're out in limbo right now, when we can actually protect it.
Yeah, I mean, there are other options you could look at. I mean, the concern was, you know, immediacy.
Yeah, we're that roof deck is what, 28 by 22, whatever it was. It wouldn't cost us $280,000 to put a new roof on that.
No, but a chiller, the Civic Center replaced a chiller last summer, and that chiller was right at about $76,000. So if you had to replace that, you've got that, and then your roof would probably be, just guessing, another 25 to 50 if you had to replace the roof. That roof's in poor shape based on the inspection.
So in essence, would be out half the cost if we were to do it a different way. If by chance the brick would have damaged the chiller, and if by chance the brick would have damaged the roof, so we still spent less money. Considerably.
You have, but then you would still have to then go back in and clean up the brick that's still remaining on the building. You'd have to re-waterproof the CMU wall, which is in that scope.
Yeah.
So it's your own decision, of course, but it's, you know, there's a trade-off. I mean, you can do one or the other, but
I can't tell the administration what to do, but I can suggest right now with you being that, you know, we put up a protective wall, we protect the chiller, and if the brick cascade, then we clean them up. Be a whole lot less money spent than trying to get up there, scaffold up, shore the brick, take them down one at a time, and palletize them.
Mr. President,
Ms. Ramos.
if this brick's falling off of this building there, it's likely in very poor shape in other places as well. And I mean, it's old, it's worn out. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter, not just the brick. I can't imagine all the things that are worn out in the theater altogether. So we need to really come to terms with, you know, replacing the chiller, making temporary repairs on the building, and, you know, probably the other $20 million worth of things that could happen over there. I think we need to make some tough decisions here pretty quick about what we're going to do at that building. You know, I'd sort of like it to a old worn out pair of tennis shoes. You know, you can replace the soles on them, but they're still going to be worn out. And this one's been worn out for some time. So I certainly don't like spending $300,000 on temporary repairs, but we've got a hazard here. and we haven't made the tough decisions about what we're going to do with that building or the Civic Center. So I mean, we're not left with many options here. I mean, we can bear the burden of that brick wall falling and tearing something up and then exposing it to water. And then, you know, we got water leaking in the building, or we tear up a chiller, or God forbid somebody gets hurt. So we shouldn't be taking many chances with this. I think we just got to do what we got to do, bite the bullet and move on. But the sooner we make the tough decisions about what the heck we're doing over there, the better off we're going to be. I wish that we could make the decision before March.
Hold on, Mr. Carroll. Mayor.
Sincerely appreciate the input from everybody. And we've struggled with it too, trying to decide what is the best thing to do, not really wanting to spend, good money after.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, can you go to the mic?
Yes. So I'm saying, I appreciate the concern and interest and comments really, because
Nothing else, I think that everybody needs to understand, and we've had an open conversation about this, about, what the risks are involved. But I've heard enough comments made to realize that maybe we need to do one more look at what we're doing, knowing that if we put in something temporary, trying to protect the chillers, that, main thing is we don't want somebody getting hurt.
Right.
That's probably the primary thing. That's the greatest risk. And so if we can mitigate that, then maybe the other is that it's dollars and cents, and we're just not quite where we need to be to make, a final decision. But we can go back to the drawing board and come up with something that may not cost us much money, but would protect us. And so we'll get with Sam. And again, thanks for the conversation. Just give us a little bit of time to come back with something else. Okay.
What's a little bit of time, Mr. Mayor? Week, 2?
This next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, just lay it over for 1 week.
Mr. President,
Ms. Reynolds.
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
got,
we'll come back within a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
as far as the hazard being mitigated for Mardi Gras, we've got as many people as we're going to have down there. Are we adequately protected now, or some additional emergency measures need to be taken to, mitigate it?
Let Jim answer that.
So the police department is aware of the potential failure. The barricaded area for the fall zone is the one on the east side. Nick Amberger, I sent him over to the theater to make sure that if you have a penetration of the roof, it wouldn't endanger people that might be in the backstage area of the theater. There's a concrete like mezzanine deck that would prevent the brick from going all the way into the backstage area. So even though you may have damage, it was Nick's opinion that there was no immediate safety hazard to people that might be in the building.
When you say the east side, are you talking about the Cleveland Street side?
That's correct.
And you're talking about where the old train used to be?
That's it. The
coach?
trolley.
The trolley, and we have a fall zone over there already.
We did.
It's barricaded.
Nick actually barricaded it off and even restricted access to the sidewalk on that Claiborne Street side. So we barricaded all the way to Claiborne Street, basically.
Oh, okay. So nobody has the potential of getting in there.
Oh, I mean, somebody
Unless they
could
jump
climb.
over,
That's right.
unless they jump over the K-rail.
But the police have been made aware of it, so if they see anybody get in it, they're there to get them out of there.
Mr. Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I agree with my colleague, Councilman Woods, and my colleague, Councilman Carroll. My question is, even if we were to agree to this, how long would it take to do the repair?
5 weeks.
So even now, if we would agree, we still have the issue with Mardi Gras during the time. I think that I'm glad the mayor made that statement because I think that we have to realize that we don't know. We haven't, if it's going to take 5 weeks, we almost getting into March anyway at this point. So thank you, Mayor.
Okay. All right, Madam Clerk.
21076, authorized contract with Whittier Surveying for surveying services for Public Safety Training Center. 21077, authorized contract with James B. Donahue for cooling tower replacement for Museum of Art. 210.
Didn't Gina just do this? This is the second one, redundancy? Okay, 2 different things. Okay.
21078, authorized contract with McLaney Construction Company for annual storm drain maintenance. 25079, grant a permanent utility easement to Mobile Area Water and Sewer System for Mobile Civic Center. 01082.
Hang on a minute. Is this that same Chaseway? This the same, or is this new?
That easement is for where the 16-inch water main that ran through the Civic Center property had to be relocated to build the parking deck and the core office building.
So this is the new one.
Yeah, so it's the easement for the new line where it
So
turns
this is
back
where I
in.
was asking where the vault and the main was gonna go and all of that stuff. This is where I was asking where all the new force main stuff was gonna go, all that new water line, all that stuff where it actually came from Lawrence Street across the back. There was a
No.
whole,
No, this is on Claiborne, where it comes up from Canal, the 16-inch line that went to the Civic Center that we had to move. So this easement is,
not costing us anything.
no, there's no cost. It's just an easement to Moz for the new location of the water line.
Thanks. No cost.
All right, Madam Clerk.
Zero 01082, authorize intergovernmental agreement with Mobile County Commission for design engineering services for updates and improvements at West Mobile County Park. Consent resolutions being introduced. 09083, transfer funds from District 2 discretionary account to Parks and Recreation General Fund account to assist with rental fees at Harmon Park. 37084, 085, 086, 087, and 088 are recommending approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license to the Toasted Yolk on O'Shea Road, for issuance of a retail beer table wine off-premises only license to Dolphin Sitco on Dolphin Island Parkway, for issuance of a retail beer table wine off-premises only license to Culture Foods on Azalea Road, for issuance of a lounge retail liquor Class 2 package store license to JM Liquor on Airport Boulevard, and for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license to Taco Mama West Mobile on Airport Boulevard.
Mr. President,
Yeah, Mr. Woods.
37-087, read that was a relocation of a liquor license. We don't know where that previous location was, do we, by chance?
Please.
Okay.
I'm not gonna hold anything up for, I mean, it's being introduced, but I'm gonna dive into that one. I think we all can agree that there's a couple things that keep popping up everywhere. Self-storage, liquor stores, vape stores, and car washes. Especially in District 6, I've a lot of comments on making sure that they're appropriate where they need to go as far as the placement. So I'm gonna dive into that one and look at that this week. So.
Hey, this is consent though.
Yes.
So you may as
Okay, well then
wait.
we are doing this. Okay.
Just want to hold off for
Yeah,
one week.
can we lay this over one
Yes.
week?
That's your desire.
I'm misreading.
Okay.
That's 087.
Yes, ma'am. I looked at the application. I couldn't figure out where it came from. So, all right, thank you.
Also, let me lay over 37-085 for 1 week too.
Wouldn't the police department,
Turn your mic on, Mr. Carroll.
wouldn't the police department know the details on that? Because they normally have to look at the application also. So somebody, Lasky or Jim or somebody would have that real quick. If you just make the call, could tell them before 10:30.
So what,
Okay.
you want to know the previous location, is that?
I think it's just a trend. 87, 087, the one that's going in at Airport Boulevard. That's on the application, like that was a transfer from another location. I just want to see, I guess, what's moving where.
Application says there's a JM Liquor at 328 South University Boulevard.
South University.
328 South University Boulevard.
Yeah.
Okay.
168 South University.
Okay. I still would like to lay this over 1 week.
Yeah,
just
that's
to-
fine. Yeah, that's fine. Madam Clerk?
40-089, 090, 091, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104 are all declaring the properties, public nuisances and ordering them demolished and fixing costs for demolition of structures. 58-105, 58-106, assess cost for removal of weeds, weed lien groups 1647 and 1648, 60, 107, 108.
Question, real quick.
Mr. Carroll?
On the weed liens, are we treating those liens in the same way or that we're doing the nuisance abatement liens as far as foreclosure? Jamie? You can just say yes or no. You know.
There's a difference, the value of those, and if we let some of them get the value, we're looking at changes in stuff, policy and maybe some ordinance to address that. But they're also research, different threshold of research to notice the owners is not the same level, so if you go back and re-research them, we are going to foreclose, notice.
What's the time limit?
Time limit on it.
The weed liens?
It's the same, all the times it's the same notice.
So 4 months.
Yeah, if we research the notice, all the owners on the title search, but the requirement for a weed lien is not to go through full title search, same structure. So we have to go back and do the title search.
Can you do me a favor? This is being asked to the administration. Could I have a nuisance abatement map where the city has the liens on the properties and also the weed lien maps where the city has liens on the properties that are still sitting stagnant? I tried to count them this weekend. It was like almost 116, 117 of them.
There's part of that's already on the city's map. The rest of it's not.
Yeah,
The
but-
active liens are in the county's.
But we're not clearing those. Those are properties that Hope or the revitalization program where we can actually be restoring our neighborhoods because we should actually own these properties and we've been holding them too long. I also can't find where the land bank has been active, where we're getting this through the process and clearing them. These are big opportunities that we have to where we can be getting this back on our roads, especially in my district, because the majority of them are in my district. If you could do that for me, Jim, if I could ask, do I need to do it through a letter or can I just ask it? Okay. Thank you.
60, 107, and 108 are determined appropriations to Lioncoff Elementary School and Providence Foundation serve a public purpose in approving payment. CIP resolutions being introduced. 21-109 authorized contract with CRM LLC for 2024 CIP resurfacing, $290,000. Resolutions being introduced. 08-110 approved purchase order to Collier for 2009 Corporation for annual renewal of mobile phone investigative software, $16,740. 08-111 approved purchase order to Gray Bar Electric Company for street light poles for traffic engineering, $157,516.85. 08-112 approved purchase order to Leads Online for annual renewal of criminal investigation software for $32,067. 08-113 approved purchase order to Stivers Ford for 4 Ford Maverick pickup trucks for parks, $112,332. 08-114 approved purchase order to Stivers Ford for Ford Transit cargo van, Ford pickup F-150 truck, and for $178,209. 08-115 approved purchase order to Stivers Ford for 20 Ford F-150 pickup trucks, $921,360. 08-116 approved purchase order to Enterprise Rent-A-Car for rental of 6 15-passenger vans for traffic engineering, $22,805.58. 08117, approve purchase order to Vulcan for galvanized steel signposts for traffic engineering, $46,088. 21118, authorized contract with Pyrotechnico Fireworks for 4th of July fireworks, $35,750.
I've never seen it this early before.
know.
Same place, Battleship.
Battleship Park.
37119, consider application of YU by experiences to operate a shuttle service. 6120, adopt the Community Housing Development CDBG Home and ESG 2024 action plans.
Yeah, that's good.
That's this
committee.
afternoon.
Yeah, but it has to do with contract authorization and contracts and all those things, what contracts are being signed and let out without the council knowing, because we passed this. The administration has complete authority to approve contracts without us knowing. So I'll ask it today.
Family committees this
Yeah.
afternoon.
6121, adopt an additional public service provider for the CDBG 2024-25 action plans, Boys and Girls Club. Call for public hearings, 41122, call for public hearing to consider the application of Roosevelt Robertson to operate a shuttle service scheduled February 14th. 41123, call for public hearing to consider the application of Mountain Taxi LLC doing business as Sunset Taxi to operate a taxi service scheduled February 14th. Announcements.
Council, Mr.
Mr.
Reynolds.
President, on this renting of 15 passenger vans for traffic engineering, what's that for? For Mardi Gras?
The six 15 passenger vans.
6 15 passenger vans, yeah. Okay. It's $22,000. I don't have any objection to taking it by consent today.
Yeah.
There's no objection.
Anyone have any issues?
No, it's a good idea.
Yeah, 08-116.
I've got a request of the administration on Dolphin Street at McPhillips. That pothole is back, guys. It's now probably 8 to 10 inches deep. I thought that I don't know if it's our fault or if there's something leaking in the ground that's causing the subsurface to go away. You know what I mean? To deteriorate, but it's getting bigger every day. Also at Michigan Avenue at Texas, 35 feet from Texas this way in the south lane, that hole's getting bigger by the day too. And also at Michigan, about 40 feet past the light in the center, that pothole's getting bigger every day. And it seems that it may be a water issue with Moz, or it may be that our old stormwater system is running down the center of the street as opposed to the right of the curb like it does in some of our older neighborhoods. If we could just put a Band-Aid on it for right now, because they're pretty bad. Let's try to figure it out. If I need to contribute from my CIP to fix that, then let's do it. It's pretty bad up there. They're both on Michigan. One is 35 feet on the west lane, going south, and the other one is about 40 feet past the light in the center, right on the double yellow line.
On Michigan.
On Michigan, those both are on Michigan. The others are on the one at McPhillips on Dolphin Street. We fixed it, but for some reason it continues to settle. We need to figure out with Moz what's happening there and get between the two of them, and let's fix that. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I mean, just bigger and bigger and bigger. My daughter lost a tire to it last week, and I told her, no, it was fixed. And I argued because it was fixed. I even was happy that it was fixed. So I just drove down there, and it's bad.
I think we need a short range plan for Michigan Avenue, because that street is really,
Natural speed bumps there. I have a follow-up. in our budget, we approved some funding for that temporary wider patching. Are we working on that so that it's a wider patch and not just pothole by pothole, but the wider patch where we mill?
We are, I don't know where you are on that contract. So we move the money, all we have to do is award the contract, we begin those repairs.
So that should at least give Michigan or whatever else some time on it. I know, because I've got a whole list of streets as well, so I just want to make sure that we were working on that. It's a good way to, I guess, buy us a little bit of time before they all get resurfaced.
I'm with the president on Michigan Avenue. Michigan Avenue is going to turn into one of our probably major thoroughfares with businesses sprouting up and everything along it. That whole quarter is going to change in our city. So we might at some time put together a comprehensive plan as to what we're going to do with Michigan Avenue. I know we can't do it now. It's beyond our reach right now, I would think. But if there was a way for us to find another Tiger grant or some free money somewhere, it would really help. The CIP is
Take
going to
more than
cover that
CIP
street.
to fix that.
It's going to get a whole lot more.
Well, there are a lot of things that it's going to take more than CIP in each district to do what needs to be done.
Well, Gina, I just put a plug in for District 2. I'll be glad to help you.
Hey,
in District 7.
I'll bring my 311 request in the next time too. But we all have those issues that just take lots and lots of money that we can't afford to fix everything out of our CIP. Just it is what it is with
Amen.
city amenities and
Well,
different
amen,
projects.
amen to that. But let me say this again, and I said this in my first term. The way things are working now are 1,000% better than what they were when I came in 2005. Things are happening every day in every district. So it's extremely positive. So when I ask, I'm not being negative. These are just things that are blatantly out there. I mean, I can't say how good of a job this administration has been doing with the infrastructure improvements and capital projects. Things are moving extremely well.
Another thing too, Councilman Carroll, currently we head to the airport, we ride smooth on airport and Ziegler and Cody.
Yeah.
In a couple of years, we be headed to the international airport, we're gonna be on a bumpy road. Anything else from the council?
Yes, sir. I just want to remind everybody, we got a public service committee meeting at 1:00 regarding the chapter 25.
Mr. President,
Mr. Penny and Mr. Reynolds.
I also want to remind everyone we have our entitlement committee meeting at 2 p.m. right after the public service committee meeting.
I've got something for Mark. The storm we had in early January knocked over a bunch of limbs and trees and stuff. And I see that a lot of that cleanup's been done, but there have been some 311 requests that are still out there with half of trees falling over, blocking sidewalks, all that sort of stuff over in District 4, predominantly Burma Road. I know one's been put in for that. Lloyd Station, that community over there still got limbs, all scattered about the right of way. And I know our trash trucks from time to time, when they go pick up, they pass these things. And sometimes all it takes is just to reach that grapple out and grab that limb. Is there a current process by which our public service employees are to decide when they're, to reach out and grab those limbs and throw them on the trash truck?
So really the process right now is if it's in the right of way, then we'll send somebody out and cut it and get it out of the right of way, and we'll mark that and pick that up. If it's just something that has fallen on property, we don't ask that, we don't have them stop and pick it up because they might not be able to finish their actual route. And so normally residents would clean up the area in their front yard and put it out for trash day. That's the current process.
Well, I guess I bring it up because our residents and, some business owners and stuff have sort of followed the process, putting in the ticket, waiting for services to be provided, and they're just not seeing them.
Okay. Yeah. I'll follow up if there's anything left in the system that we haven't picked up yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
there is for certain.
Okay.
I called 311 over towards the end of last week and sort of went through some of the tickets with them on the phone.
Okay.
And there are quite a few that are pending out there. And I just want to make sure that we're providing the amount of, one of them is across the street from the school, big oak tree falling down, and it's blocking the students' path going to school on Burma Road.
Is it on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll work with
Yeah,
Keisha.
big, big, I mean, it's big.
I'll work with Keisha to get all those, and then I'll follow up on them.
Okay, yeah. Thank
So the debris is going to fall under the storm removal requirement and not the regular trash, because the trash ordinance says that anything 8 or 12 inches larger, the city doesn't pick it up. The owner has to get rid of it. So this is going to be under the storm removal requirements, right?
Yeah, no, we don't do storm removal requirements unless there's like a FEMA named storm.
So some of the limbs in my neighborhood were bigger than that, 8 inches. And so
if
no,
there were,
the city
sorry.
picked up some, but not all. I don't see any more of the piles laying anywhere around. But if we're going to pick them up for some, we need to pick them up for all.
I mean, we should be just abiding by the rule. I mean, if it's on a private property and they put it out and it's within the requirement, then we can pick it up. If the pile is just bigger, we'll do it as a pay pile. But if there's something that you feel like we're missing, then let me know and I'll follow up on it to see if we've just missed it.
That's fine. There's that one tree, and I talked to Peter, Washington Avenue and Augusta Street. I think Peter went over and cut all the stuff out of it. It was just dropping limbs in the street. It could have dropped dead wood on a car or something passing by. Oak tree is probably 200-300 years old right there.
Okay.
Yeah, Washington Avenue and Augusta.
So that still needs to be done, or Peter already took care
I
of it?
don't know. I think he's done it. I'm not
I'll
sure.
follow up.
Yeah.
All right. Anything from the administration? Okay. We'll see each other at 10:30.
Hey,